What's up? If you thought the Z9 was a catch-up game by Nikon, let me assure you it wasn't. It can't be. The real catching up by Nikon is going to happen or should happen in 2022, and we will have a lot of information flooding in the next few weeks. This is what we know so far. We know that the new 85mm is going to be a f1.2 lens, and it's going to be an exotic lens. We will come back to this and talk more on the 85mm later on in this video. We know that there's going to be an 800mm f3.6, which is likely to be a PF lens. It's exciting because it will surely be a very competitive and a unique lens in terms of focal length, speed and weight. We know that finally, there's going to be a firmware update for the Z6II and the Z7II. I don't know, I'm still waiting for it. I don't know when, but it should come soon. Nikon rumor is saying that as of now, there is no new camera information for this year, which is, let me be clear, quite sad and kind of disappointing because the world is moving forward fast. The Nikon DSLRs are dead. Yes, some are sticking to it still and waiting for the Z9 generation of tech to come down to the Z6 Mark III or in a Z8 or even a Z7 Mark III. What will the Z8 be? Should it come out this year? Who should it target? These are separate conversations that we will have soon in the following videos. Now, there's a good news for the Z6II and the Z7II owners. We will soon see the long-awaited firmware update, and we're likely to see that in this month, later part of this month. I'm super excited, but we need more news on it. We need more conversations to start on it soon, so that we know that it's finally here. I want to see a massive upgrade in the focus ability of these cameras. If we do not get any more Z cameras this year, then these two bodies will have to work as the main mid-level bodies. In that case, these firmware updates will have to do the job of making these cameras match up to the latest from Sony, Canon and Fuji. You see, at least Canon and Fuji are going to be very active this year. And although a lot of people have said that the Generation 2, the Z6II and the Z7II cannot match the Z9, I think that Nikon can make these bodies perform somewhat close to the Z9. Let me tell you why. The 10 or 20 times more powerful, I don't remember which one, 10 or 20, but so many more times more powerful processor is not there only for better focusing, but more importantly, to process huge video and image files, to manage heat. That requires massive processing power, and also to manage the fast shooting, you need that processing power. But getting the focus up to the level of the Z9 should not require 10 times more processing power. Think about it. Does the A7C have the same processing power as the A1? It doesn't. Does the A7 IV have the same processing power as the A1? No. Yet these Sony bodies are very good in terms of focusing. They're very capable bodies. In fact, this is being recorded on a A7 IV. I used to saying Z. Now, if you look at the Z7, remember that the Z9 has the same number of focus points, and yet the performance is entirely at some other level. But the Z6II and the Z7 bodies do not have to deal with massive video file processing and the fast management of heavy image files. The Z7II does not shoot at 20 frames a second. Therefore, I'm fairly certain that all that extra CPU power in the Z9, that 10 or 20 times more CPU power on the Z9, is used up for video processing and image file processing, and not just for autofocus. The autofocus is more dependent on better subject recognition algorithms. And as you can see, the Z9 is already a master of that. Coming back to the 85 f1.2, it's likely to be a lens with that defocus feature. Now, this is a complex lens design and patented by Nikon. Nikon already has a defocus control lens at 135mm. Expensive and exotic. What is defocus control and how does it work? I'll put a link in the description below so you can learn more about it. In short, you will be able to control the quality of your bokeh in the foreground and the background with this technology. At this stage, if you think that I make sense, then subscribe and press the like button. But I have to give you more reasons to do that, right? Okay, so do you want to see how Nikon compares with Sony and Fuji? I'm going to make a lot of content on that, so subscribe if that's something that you want to know about. Coming back, the concern is that this defocus feature is going to make the 85 1.2 too expensive, slightly unnecessary, and that is not a good thing. There are no third party lens support right now for Nikon. There are no 1.4 lenses right now from Nikon. Nikon themselves haven't planned on producing any 1.4 lenses. The 1.2 lenses are already expensive, but layering it with exotic tech means pushing the price barrier so high that it becomes impractical for many who are considering a faster than a 1.8 lens. Now understand here that an 1.2 lens is only one third times 1 by 3 times faster compared to a 1.4 lens, but the 1.4 lenses are two-third times faster, 66 to 70% faster than 1.8 lenses. Therefore, the value to cost ratio is not in favor of 1.2 lenses to begin with. But we do not have 1.4 lenses right now. So people who want anything faster than the 1.8, they will have to buy the 1.2, right? So it's just smarter to make that slightly more affordable than to make it just completely out of reach of most people. That makes no sense to me. Most people will buy the 1.8s, some will upgrade to a faster lens, and then a very tiny minority will reach out for that 1.2, very tiny minority, if this becomes a super expensive lens. Now, these are just some of the concerns that I have. I think Nikon should be mindful to the business context of photographers. Are they charging more today, given the inflation and cost of living? I'm sure they're not charging more. Are photographers earning more in real terms? The answer is no. Then the job of a tool maker is to reduce the cost of operating in the business, or it makes less sense to be in that business. I'm talking about the professional photographers right now. On the other hand, this will increase the barrier to entry, and the number of people who can offer high end work with high end gear to clients will reduce. I'm not sure, but I'm just mulling things over. We need more information and we will have to wait. But overall, the strategy seems to be one of cheaper cameras and more expensive lenses. Great. Just, I don't think that expensive should become prohibitive. Just a word of caution. Now let's talk about the 800mm now. I think the 800mm f6.3 will be a big winner. So very excited, and we'll wait for further information on that one too. What's great is that I think it's surely going to be a light and easy to carry, easy to maneuver lens, given that it's going to be a PF lens. That's about it for this video. We're expecting a lot more news to come in from the Nikon quarters. See you very soon with another video.